Howard Bullock of Clear Financial Advice.
Thank you very much. Today we're going to talk about how we invest money for us. How we invest most of the money for our clients. Not all the money goes into this proposition, but it works for about 70% of the money we place. But first, let's make it all about me. I've got a very happy family life. I've got a great wife who hasn't kicked me out. I've got 2 kids who still talk to me, and 2 dogs that think that anything I do is utterly genius. That's quite nice. I started my career on the life law, the financial futures law. I was a trader for about 12 years. That closed down. I fell into this game by pure accident. I am on there somewhere. Slightly should where's Wally? I am there, that guy there. And while I was there, I disappeared and went around the world for a year. That was great fun. I started this line of work in the year 2000. I started the company in 2006. We looked after about 100 million, just over that. And we are top rated in the Sunday Times newspaper, which is something really well, but it's voted by our clients. They leave comments that gets repeated. That goes in the rankings. I'm really proud of that. We've been doing that for about 6 years with top ratings. We do all kinds of financial planning, and there are probably bits we don't do, but most of the work we do centres on investment and retirement planning. That's the vast majority. I do a healthy amount of inheritance tax planning as well, but most of it is pure investment and retirement planning. And when we've invested money for clients or talk about retirement planning, we talk about their objectives, their circumstances, like you do with all your clients, same thing. We put a lot of emphasis on risk. How should that money behave? What should the journey look like? We all want to make as much money as we possibly can in reinvesting, but you've got to be happy with the ups and downs along the way. And then we put together an investment solution. So we've got a core belief when we're investing money. And we want not just diversification of assets, we want diversification of how that money is managed. We don't manage the investments. We outsource that to people that that's all they do. We do lots of other things. So we outsource the actual investment management of it. And this is all, excuse me, it boils down to, there we are, active management and passive management. Active management is really when you have a fund manager deciding what to buy and sell. And that's probably what you imagine a fund manager does all day. Maybe a bit more for the client, do some research and have meetings, try a lot of investment philosophy. The other side of the coin is passive investment. Passive investment, you all have a tracker, something that tracks the FTSE 100 or the S&P 500. Passive investment is where you have no investment decision being made by a fund manager. You just get what the market gives you. Okay. We've got Passive Plus at the moment. These are the 2 companies we use. At the moment, we've used WellSet for quite some time, and we've just brought on their investment managers. So, I'll talk quickly about. There we go. So, WellSet. It's a managed portfolio service. So, if you have your pension on a platform, part of it stands down as a platform, you don't use it. Bring on the nation. You have access to thousands of funds on Parties on a platform. So WellSelect, when you invest in a series of funds on that platform, with these guys it's typically 40 funds, there's an awful lot going on there, and they'll manage that portfolio of investments. But it's that active process, you've got a guy who's got a massive team of people, they drive the performance of those portfolios, okay, for their equity decisions. They look after absolutely 6 billion, and nowadays 26 million, so quite a lot of money. The other one we use, Clever. Oh, sorry. This one's the point of WellSelect. So you can see some of the funds, and you'll recognise some of them, like M&G, Schroders, BlackRock. There are some companies you won't recognise, but it's a really, really comprehensive proposition. They do a really good job. Then we've got Clever. So the best thing we've come up with is Passive Plus. There's no human regulated investment to see. It's all driven by data. So again, it's a managed portfolio service where they have typically 25 to 30 funds in their portfolios. But the data drives all the changes and all the adjustments that happen in this portfolio. So I'm going to try and explain this without getting too complicated. So there are two steps to what they'll do. The first thing is they'll look at every asset class, so UK equities, American equities, European, Japan, gilts, property. They'll analyse all these asset classes, and based on fairly simple data like performance over 1, 3, 5 years, based on that data, they'll give each asset class a score. The higher the score, the more money goes into that asset class. And then they'll do that analysis the following month and the following month. And if the scores of those asset classes changes, or if it's say the asset class reduces in size in their score, they'll take some money away, and vice versa. Step 2 is they'll analyse every fund that invests in every asset class. So one thing we've got Asian entities. But this time they'll create a threshold. Let's say it's 150 points. If your fund, if Paul's fund, Paul is an Asian equity fund, if his fund has more than 150 points, they're in the portfolio. Stuart's got more than 150 points. Actually, he's got a lot more. He's his top one here. Because he's got more points than Paul, not only is he in the portfolio, they'll put more money into Stuart's fund than Paul's. And then again, the following month, they'll do the analysis again. If Stuart's score drops, they'll take some money away and give to Paul and vice versa. If Stuart's score drops below that threshold, indiscriminately they'll just sell it. There's no debate about it. It's all driven by the data. There's no lead fund manager at Clever saying, well, Stuart's this kind of investor, and because the market's done this, I can see why it's dropped, but it will come back. They don't give a crap. They'll just sell it. Okay? The performance is really good. So the performance of Well Select has been excellent for years. Clever keep pace with Well Select. Really, really good. But you've got very, very diverse ways of looking after money. But how does it do? Are they any good? There's a grey line in here, under here, you might be able to see. That's the balanced sector average. These are like medium risk portfolios, okay? Both Well Select and Clever have about 14 portfolios with all different degrees of risk, like cautious, medium, high risk. These are kind of up the middle of the road. So that's the balanced sector average in grey. These are ours. So the green one is Well Select, the blue one is Clever. Really, really good, consistently good. And you can see as time goes on, it's stretching away from the average, really quite nicely. This orange one, I put on there, this is a company called 7 Investment Management, 7IM. Not really well known in our world, and they're a really well known company. They tell a really good story about how they invest money. But this is what we hear all the time. When we sit down with a new fund manager, what they tell us sounds amazing. They've got this investment philosophy. This is how they go about their business. These are the controls and the structure in place. And it always sounds really amazing. And then we get back to the office and we plug a bit of data and we get this crap. So the story always sounds good, but the data's got to stack it up. Okay? So that's how we invest money. About 70% of the money we invest goes into stuff like this. But it doesn't always work. Sometimes clients need something to behave completely differently or has different tax treatments. Sometimes we want some more diversity. So they've got a lot of money in these two guys, but we want something else that behaves differently, then we'll go elsewhere. So we're not tied to using that route, we're completely independent of what we do. So that's how we invest money. I just want to have a quick word on pensions. I've mentioned this before, 60 seconds. This is a big campaign we're doing, Matt's going to help us, just to make all our clients aware, make everyone else aware. As of April next year, pensions become part of your estate for inheritance tax purposes. So if someone dies on the 5th of April, the pension is ignored for inheritance tax purposes. If someone dies on the 6th of April next year, it's included. Okay? And it's a big, major change it's coming. And the tax treatment is going to be really, really awful. What can we do? It's not just the 40% inheritance tax you're paying. It could be a lot more than that. If someone passes away over the age of 75, their beneficiary is going to get hit for 40% in IHT. But if they take that into out their pension, they'll pay income tax as well. So the total tax rate could be almost 70%. Really, really draconian. Ideal clients, people whose money is good. but directors, people who are retiring, people who are coming to retirement who are just retired, people who are selling businesses, and young families alike. Somebody who did it once for retirement. Yeah, the families are great, especially in the summer. Any questions? Oh,
Yeah, I think one question.
yes.
Pension company, it's very popular.
Yes.
The accountant defence stocks, a law no.
Yes.
What if the brain and your animal have the defence stocks become more competitive in the best of the law?
Not really. No, that hasn't really changed. People, ethical investing isn't as popular now, really because of the performance. So up until COVID, there was loads of them flying into what's going on. So then we had COVID, then we had Ukraine. This is Ukraine here, that's not. So we had all this period where the markets weren't really going anywhere. And ethical funds did really bad because they haven't got things they can invest in that are safer to protect investors. They're going to be more volatile. So money's been coming out of the world for the last few years. Yeah. Hey.
I'm interested in the pension side and in taking into account pensions. The purpose of my business tax.
Yes.
This in whose action? Presumably, once you have cashed in your pension, as you've got investments based on annuities and other investments, and then you're getting an income from your pension.
Yeah.
How is, if there's no residual payment from the pension,
Yeah.
so there isn't a question of a spouse getting a lesser amount by way of ongoing pension from your pension,
Yeah.
is that still taken into account? How is it taken
Right.
into account?
So annuities are largely ignored because you're getting your income.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say largely ignored. So it's money in the pension. That's what they're after. If you're taking an annuity, it's fine. So if I'm getting my annuity, inheritance tax is laws if I die. But if I die and the annuity then goes to my wife,
Yeah,
it's ignored because there's no inheritance tax from the husband and wife.
yeah,
But if I build a 10-year guarantee to the annuity, that means, let's say we die after, say, 7 years, it'll carry on paying for another 3. That 3 years, because it's not going to me or my wife, it's going to the kids properly,
yeah.
that is taken into account.
So it's where there's any residual income.
Any residual income from the potential, well, pensions, because I don't know, but from the annuity, that's not going to the annuitant or his or her spouse,
Right.
that can be taken into account. It's a bastard.
And how is it valued?
I think for the, let's say that's I've been ready 3 years, and let's say it's 10 grand a year, I think we can tax off 30 grand. I think.
Right.
40% of 30 grand.
Okay.
Follow on from Paul's question, do you ever get people coming to you say, I want to invest in defence and guns and bombs and things like that?
I only want tobacco, alcohol, drugs. No, not yet.
Ask me your
That's
opinion.
disappointing. Well, there's an opportunity for us then, so.
Unethical investment.
So I remember worrying about all Bulock's shares and in relation to this. You said it's based on data
Yes,
and then weakness.
yes,
Because if you got the level around.
yes.
But data from Bulock is relatively freely available and other companies must be based on data as well.
They can't help themselves. So there are lots of passive investment propositions out there. We used to use Vanguard, which is purely passive. You just get a basket of trackers, that's it.
Yes.
Okay? But they're list trusted in a mini budget, and those clients in the cautious versions of that got hit really bad because Vanguard just stands in the train tracks rate for countries. So we were looking for something that still had that lack of human inputs. but we'll do something to get off the tracks. And that's what we've got in Glasgow.
So not all companies do that.
Most things are plastic that we've come across.
Right.
You're investing in trackers, but there's a fund manager deciding how much you put in that tracker and how much you put in that tracker.
Yes.
Or even what.
Right, and that's differential.
Yeah, this is really unique.
Right.
I'm sure someone will copy of some local or not.
And all our staff are involved in the up and work. So they just get put in the smooth as funds without getting too them really. And we proved that sure none of them will ever actually go and look at them. Well, it's about farm regulation groups, but not the farm involved or something like that. So they're free to do that. So that would be started something annual once a look at.
It's not something we generally do because it's all about fairly small numbers first of all. And the employee has to pay us. So they're all we do. So we generally don't unpack the policy. There's depends on the product. If you're going to say there's a also a workplace pension scheme now, that's what I used to ask last time. There's one, but there's no alternative or anything else. Or there's a white version of this one. There are other options. Whoever you're with, if they've got a selection of funds, they'll be on portal and they can log into it and read up on this is the aggressive fund, this is the cautious fund, this is the lifestyle fund that be aggressive for the first 20 years and when you're fast through. Yeah. No. Yeah. But your job as the employer is when I'm investing in clients' personal pension, it's how's the money invested? That's the most important thing. What's not important is this is a valid pension, are they taking the compliance policies? That's just a given. But when you're doing that for your own employees, you're going to make sure you're taking all the compliance policies and not going to get fined for doing it wrong. So for you, that's the important thing. But then if you can do like a nice investment procedure for the employees, great. But the priorities for the employer is very different than to yourself.
Yeah, bouncing a little bit off what Toby was saying, and forgot there. But what I really like about those costs, it's kind of always feels like a bit of a history lesson. You can follow it along and see sort of major global events in it, which it's in early February, that was also assuming when the Iran war kicked
That's
off.
Iran,
Yeah.
that's tariffs,
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. What
yeah,
the
that's
previous
tariffs,
ones,
that's Russia, Ukraine, distrust is, that's distrust there.
Also, tariffs have a bigger effect, or tariff talk had a bigger effect than the Iran war.
Yeah, because he just created so much confusion.
Yeah.
Now we all know what war is,
Yeah.
you know, but the tariffs, that was new.
And following on from the war part again to what Tony said, when that first kicked off, I sort of had a joking conversation with my dad because he does a bit of training. I was saying, it seems like the obvious one for me. I just put my name to be a hero. Does it work as simply as that in terms of major life? You know, defence companies can make a lot of money off that, or does the training not work directly?
It does, but quite often, by the time we've thought about it,
Well, yeah,
the training's already done it.
yeah.
So that's the big problem making those predictions.
Chunks sort of thing.
Yeah.
Just
Howard.
sorry, to say the user trust is the where it goes absolutely lowest there. That's your trust.
I think that's the stress there.
No, keep going back.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that bottom
yeah.
there, that's his trust. Sorry, don't remember that date at all. October 2022.
Yep. That was something.
Yeah. Sorry.
Howard, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.